Okay, and right now I'm going to be talk a little bit more about the trait theories and the psychodynamic theories. So trait theory, as we already defined it, it's when individuals are interested in classifying, analyzing, and interrelating traits to understand personality. And the Big Five um, model is very interesting because according to this model, you can relate any trait to one of the five factors that they identified. And those factors are extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, neuroticism, and openness to experiences. And as part of the discussion, you will complete the TP, which is the 10-item personality inventory. And it's pretty much tapping into this Big Five model. The psychodynamic theory indicates that there are three major elements to our personality. The id, which is the innate biological instinct and urges, and it's guided by the pleasure principle. So if you do something just because you want to do it, you don't take into account the potential consequences or the effect that it might have on you or on other people around you. So, like illustrated in the picture above, it's almost like the devil on your shoulder, telling you, oh, do it, it's gonna be good, and elements like that. The superego, I'm gonna skip ego for a second. The superego is the judge or the censor for the thoughts and actions of the ego. So the superego, think about it as the angel on one's shoulder. It thinks more about the moral elements of it, the big picture of your consequences. The ego is the executive element of your personality. It directs energies supplied by the id, but the ego is guided by the reality principle. It's the system of thinking, planning, problem solving, and deciding. So it takes into account the potential element of like wanting to do your biological instinct and being the judge of your thoughts, and kind of taking them and balancing them, so to speak. So then the question arises: is personality driven by nature, heredity, or nurture, the environment? And if you look at newborn babies, even they are not all the same, right? They have different types of temperament. And temperament is the hereditary aspects of personality, including sensitivity, activity levels, prevailing mood, irritability, and adaptability. So, right, there are some babies who just cry and just you can't calm them down and they awake several times during the night. And then there are those wonderful, wonderful babies that slip through the night and their parents probably couldn't be any happier. So the two types of babies, just giving you the extremes, are they differ in their temperament. But they were just born, right? They're just newborn babies. So the environment didn't have time, so to speak, to influence their personality yet. So it has to be something to do with their nature. But also the environment can have an influence, right? Think about the trait situation interaction element, and it's the influence that external settings or circumstances have on the expression of your personality traits. We don't all act in the same exact manner in every aspect and situation in our life. Hopefully. We act in a certain way when we are at work. We have certain almost different personality, we might say. We might be more composed when we're at work. Whereas when we're hanging out with our friends or we go to a club, we might be acting in a different way. I love the example the book gives. Um, the difference between somebody who is attending church or temple or whatever religious institution to a classroom, to a party, to a football game. So as the setting changed, the person might become louder, more extroverted, almost so to speak. So if somebody is assessing somebody's personality when they're at church or they're in the classroom or something like that, they might think, oh, this person is very responsible and introvert, and elements like that. But then if they were to assess their personality, if they're in a football game or some other athletic event where, they're rooting for their team, and if the it's not the judge, I'm not good on my sports, says there was a foul and there wasn't, you might get upset. So somebody, if they're assessing your personality, they might think something different about your personality if you're in that setting. The point is, it's once again, they're both influencing our personality. So there is some biological element to it, and especially the heredity element can be seen with twin studies. And medical and psychological tests actually found that reunited twins, so twins identical twins, but they were raised in different homes, they are very much alike, even though they were reared completely differently. So if one is very artsy, excels in music, dance, and athletics, there is a very high likelihood that the other twin would also be excelling in these elements and have that predisposition to those specific fields, even though they were raised in different environments. All right, that's all I have for you on personality.